Hi everybody, welcome to Revitalise Meets, where I get the opportunity to meet business leaders, key influencers and entrepreneurs from across the globe to find out more about their business journey. And today I've got the great pleasure to be with a gentleman who's been an international speaker, coach and author and running his own business, SimonHaigh.com. He's been in business for over 28 years. So can you welcome with me today, the one, but yes, the only, Mr. Simon Haigh. Simon, how are you today?
I'm good. And my wife probably thinks, thank God I'm the only Simon Haigh. Thank God I'm good. It's great to be here, Lee. And, I love the work you do and the energy you bring to this. So I'm looking forward to this chat. I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. It was great to catch up with you a few weeks back and invite you to come along today to learn more about your business journey. And I was blown away by even just that small snippet of adventures that you've had in business. So saying that, to begin with, could you tell everybody a little bit more about your business journey? Would you mind?
Yeah, I will be quick. So you can divide my career into three parts. The first 13 years, I started life as a commercial lawyer in the UK. I also worked in Ireland. I was the first legal counsel for Dell Computers in Ireland. I've qualified in Australia as a lawyer. So that was the first 13 years. Very quickly, I realized that I'm more of an entrepreneur and I love being embedded in businesses. I love helping businesses and leaders grow and match their confidence with the capabilities. So I pivoted, did an MBA in Australia. I ended up becoming a CEO of an American company over there. And then the third part of my career, the last 9 years now, I've run my own business, GCM Advisory /SimonHaigh.com. And it's all about helping businesses and leaders grow through business, leadership, brand, and mindset growth. So that's the quickest way of describing the 28 years.
And it's been a quick 28 years as well, I guess, really. It's flown over for you. Well,
it has, and it's been busy. And, I suppose I planned the first 13 years, but since, giving up the legal career, I've kind of just gone with my instinct, Lee, and I've just gone with what I enjoy doing, which is really the essence of it is helping. It really is, looking at complex things around business, leadership, brand, mindset, distilling them, simplifying them, and then make it easier for people to understand and build their confidence, match their confidence with their capability. And it's a dream role for me. It's what I always wanted to do. And we'll probably talk a little bit about that later.
Yeah, we will do indeed. It's great to have that building blocks put in place, but to see people sort of come to fruition through that and what you've been offering to everybody. One of the things I want to talk about today is about the achievements and successes that you've had in your business journey. And there's one of them that comes to mind that we spoke about prior was the People Hum Top 200. Now, I want to know more about this one as the most influential thought leaders for 2021. How did that happen? That's a great success.
Yeah, no, this is, it was a great accolade. It came at Christmas time, completely unexpected in a way, but I guess not really because, I've been working away now on, working with, interviewing some of the great thought leaders over the last couple of years, as you are as well. And also, I've written 3 books. I've Marshall Goldsmith, the world's #1 leadership thinker. I've been blessed. He's basically my mentor and a good friend. And so I suppose my work was getting the attention of some of the people in organizations like People Hum. I've also been accoladed through Thinkers 360, and I'm about to talk to somebody from the Forbes Council next week. So, there's no mystery to this, Lee, right? It's just about putting in the hard work, being patient, not being deluded, loving what you do, and then people need to see it, right? You do need to self-publicize, but not in an egotistical way. I mean, you're very similar to me. You're very good at what you do. You're very confident, but you don't shout about it in a braggish, egotistical way. Those kind of people push away organizations like People Hum and Thinkers 360. They like to see quiet, steady, non-deluded achievers. That's really, really important. So it was a great accolade, but it just recognizes the hard work I've put into it. I'm nothing special. It's just hard work.
Yeah, you've been rowing very heavily across those seas and you get
Yeah.
to your destination, but at the same time, it's looking at as an analogy, you've put the groundwork in first, you put the roots in, you've had those conversations, they've developed into further relationships. So, but it's like you say with everything, really, you've got to put the groundwork in, you've got to put the time in and to make it work. And I think as well, you talked a little bit about your unique selling points that makes you stand out from the crowd. And, you're known as the growth strategist. And in regards of helping leaders and organizations build their confidence. Did that just happen overnight, or was that, how long did that take?
No, it didn't. So when I first launched my business, GCM Advisory 8 years ago, I was just a run-of-the-mill consultant, strategy, transformation, change management consultant. And then when I moved to Ireland 4 years ago, somebody persuaded me to write a book on deal making. So I wrote a book or a couple of books on closing deals. And then what came out of that 2 or 3 years ago was that an book agent in the States said, Simon, I read your book. And it was like when I read it, How to Be a Better Deal Closer, it wasn't about deals. It was like that wardrobe in Narnia. When I read it, the wardrobe opened and I realized what you were talking about was the human attributes that we all have to navigate life. So resilience, awareness, influencing skills, all of these things. And so it's kind of come out in the last couple of years. And then now I work with, businesses, business schools, small businesses, multinationals, and 90% of the time when I get engaged on consulting or coaching, it all comes back to, I have imposter syndrome. I need help with my confidence. I need help with my awareness. For nearly everybody, doesn't matter how small the business, how senior their executive, we all need help. So it's just kind of squeezed out over the years. And it seems to be the place that I'm getting more and more work in. And we all need help, Lee. We all do, like all of us.
We do indeed. And I think that's a great point to come on to in regards to help and support. And some people, unfortunately, Simon, don't ask for the help now and again. It's like they hold it all in. I don't need that help. Their shields are up, but you've got to let the shields open and let people help you.
Absolutely. And I think I said to you a couple of weeks ago that if you don't ask, it's 100% no. If you do ask, it's 50% yes. And I did the same thing with Marshall Goldsmith, the world's #1 leadership thinker. 5 years ago, I wrote this ebook. I thought nobody knows Simon Haigh, so I'll go onto LinkedIn. I'll look at famous people, Richard Branson's of this world. And I came across Marshall Goldsmith. I reached out, never thinking he would ever respond. He responded. To cut a long story short, took 4 months. He wrote the foreword to the book. And so just reach out. I say this to people I coach or mentor, just reach out. Just send them LinkedIn message and see what happens. If they don't respond, so be it. But there's a chance, 1 in 10 chance they will, and you'll surprise yourself.
Yeah. Persistence is one word to mention on that one. Persistence and consistency, and keep on trying. Now, with everything that's gone on, we're talking about help and support and everything, and especially what's been going on over the last year. There's been something happening which we all know about, a certain pandemic that's been kicking in.
Yeah.
How have you adapted your business to work online and meet all these wonderful leaders? Because you did do a lot of traveling prior to it.
Yeah.
How have you adapted your business
That's a huge question, because this time last year, I had a bit of a crisis inflection point, because all of my work was face-to-face, coaching, consulting, training, facilitation, and then it all ground to a halt. So what I did was, rather than just sulk and suck my thumb, I just literally, knuckle down and taught myself online streaming. I'm very lucky. I've got a guy who helps me with the branding and marketing. So, I got an e-learning program online. Now I have 3 or 4 of them online, and I hadn't even used Zoom a year and a half ago. And since, in the last 2 years, Zoom, StreamYard, conferencing calls, all of these, they've been my best friend, right? So I've just completely pivoted online, and it's amazing that this financially has been the best year ever for me. And I'm hearing this from a few people, not all people, but those people who have, we'll talk about it a bit, reserves of resilience, which I found that I have, and sufficient awareness, and they're not deluded about where they need to go, are being able to cope during this period more than others. So I think we'll talk a little bit about resilience. That's a key part. But that's what I did. I just knuckled down and pivoted.
Yeah, I think people have just embraced the virtual network. And I think I've spoken to many people over the last few weeks, is that it's opened up many doors, geography wise. It's broken down a lot of different borders. People are having conversations more productively on a daily and weekly basis now. And we talked about, we're having Zoom meetings back to back, which means before you're traveling in between, you get to see a lot more people.
Yeah, I honestly think you have to be careful, because you can be exhausted through being online. But I do think it provides, if you manage it well, enhanced productivity. I mean, like today I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 meetings, right? If I were traveling, I would have been lucky to have got 2 of those. So it just allows a lot more. But then you need to think about yourself. You need to be self and situationally aware. How much am I taking on? I'm a natural people pleaser, Lee, right? And so it's very easy for me to say yes to everything. And when you're getting these connections, it's very easy to submerge yourself. So you need to be self-selective. And I talk about, before I collaborate, I've now created 3-step process. I think I mentioned this to you before. A, do I like this person? And do I respect them? And do I trust them? And if I can't honestly in my gut tick those boxes, I say no. So you're honored, Lee. I'm here.
I feel extremely honored, everybody, that Simon's picked me to speak to me and a second time for
Yeah.
today as well. So thanks so much, Simon. That's made my day. That's made my day. Um, Looking at that as well, I ask this to many people, is creating or looking at their golden tips of advice. What would be your golden 3 tips of advice to somebody who's out there watching and listening to us today, who's ready to create their business, or they're in a position where they want to grow and expand their business? What would you say to them?
100% number one is try and get a mentor, right? And I can't believe I'm saying that, because I always used to hear that over years, and I used to think, why do I need anybody else, right? I can just do it myself. Try and do it yourself, right? And see how far you get, right? Because none of us are an island, there's plenty of people out there, and there are mentors who'll give time free, right? I mean, on my website, I advertise, I give 1 hour free coaching or mentoring for anybody who wants to connect with me, because I've got tons of stuff I can hand over, right? And there's a lot of stuff I can hand over. So look for a mentor. That's number one. Number two is really important, is that when I coach and consult, I say this to people, that you need to focus on 3 things, right? As an entrepreneur or in any aspect of life, you need to work on, and they have to be aligned. A, do you have sufficient drive? Do you really have passion for what you're doing? Is if you don't, you're not going to be sustainable. So you have to have passion. Number 2, aligned with that, is, do you have a strategy, right? You can't just hope. You can't just kick a ball and hope it's going to score, right? You've got to have a strategy. And so these are, and number 3, is there really a market for what you're doing, right? So you really got to think about those things: drive, strategy, and market. So that's the second thing. And I guess, yeah, what I mentioned before about trust, liking, and respecting, you've really got to rely on your gut feeling. My brain is 53 years old, right? But my gut feeling is hundreds of thousands of years old, because it comes through humankind, all the history of humankind. So really rely on your gut feeling, not only your gut feeling, but how many times, Lee, have you relied on your head and you've got it wrong, but you've relied on your gut and you've got it wrong? I guarantee it's more you've got it wrong through just relying on your head.
Yeah.
So they would be my 3 tips.
Because you can feel the sense when you're actually dealing with something, you're going, it feels right. It's that, get that butterfly moment. You used to get those nerves when you used to go on stage or anything. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It feels right. Going to go for it there. And
so don't, when you get that feeling that it feels right, don't deny that. Don't push against. I've pushed against it, and nearly always I get it wrong. Just go with it.
Go with the flow with it. Make sure it's there for you. Now, one thing is, what have you learned in your journey? What knowledge have you brought up? Have you done any self-reflection in that sort of 28 years? Have you had a chance where, at times where your gut or your head's been kicking in, you're going, let me take a step back here and look at it. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, and I've written about a lot of my own journey. There's a website, mindsetandmindfulness.com, and there's the LinkedIn version of me with all the cool, corporate life, but also I've been through traumas and tragedies in my life. And I guess my learning is that I pushed against telling some of that stuff publicly, for years. And it was only a year and a half ago I started telling a little bit of my story, my journey, and I was terrified that I would get judged or bullied by some of the things I've been through. And we've all been through trauma. Like, it's not unique to me. But what I found is that if you are truly authentic, just be you, right? Warts and all, right? Don't be a clenched version of you, which is what I was, right? I was this corporate clenched version. I never used to have a beard, right? I was always very formally dressed. This is me, Lee, right? And so just be you, and people are attracted to authenticity, right? So I've reflected a lot about all that stuff, and I'm never going to go back to that corporate, stuffy, clenched world. It's just not me. I work in it, but I'm very grateful when I can leave there at the end of the day with a client. So authenticity is what I've really learned myself.
That's a big time. I mean, many people, unfortunately, I've spoke about this quite a lot, they go through a time scale, like say 6 months goes by, bang, like that, it's gone. And they've took no time to reflect upon it. They get to the 6 months and they go, how did I get here? How did it happen?
Yeah.
I think when you take time to do self-reflection, even if it's weekly, looking at what
Yeah.
you've done, who you've met, have you been authentic? Have you been visible for the right reasons?
Yeah.
Have you delivered on what you were looking to deliver with everybody?
Yeah.
Really into it.
I think the other thing to add to that is, and this might sound a bit soppy, but always think in terms: am I communicating through the prism of love, right? And I don't mean slushy, lovey-dovey stuff. I mean, am I being nice to who I'm talking to, right? Honestly, reflect on that. Am I talking to them the way I want to be talked to, right? And I never used to be that. I was a very ruthless capitalist, particularly in my legal days, right? But everybody you talk to is a human being. Even people you don't like, they have feelings, right? We're all burning up inside. We all have good days, bad days. We all have frailties. We're all going to pass away one day, right? So we all need love. 99.99% of human beings want the same things. They want to love and be loved. So just try and communicate through the prism of love. I mean, respect, that's what I mean. That's so important.
Yeah, I think it's so important. And unfortunately, there's a small percentage that forget that sometimes, but there's
Yeah.
a larger percentage that are now starting to embrace that a lot more.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on and everything we've spoke about, what's the next step for you? What's the next door of opportunity that you are tapping on the door to?
Well, I'm doing a lot of things, and I'm advising now a number of businesses in the States, Ireland. But I guess the one I'm probably most excited about is a business in the States called inclusioninleadership.com. We've just launched, and I'm the only European partner, and we're all about helping companies, C-suites and HR departments understand that if you do 5 things well, you manage diversity, inclusion, gender balance, cultural assimilation, ethical communication, and managing remote cohesive workforces. If you do those well, you can actually improve your profitability and brand equity. And so I'm very excited about that business. And yeah, so I'm busy. I'm busy doing lots of different things, but that's the one I'm really excited about right now.
Yeah, there's plenty going on for you. And I wish you all the best with everything that you're doing, really, Simon, because there's some great opportunities out there. You're helping a lot of people. And if anyone has the chance, please connect with Simon to find out about what he's doing, and just be connected on LinkedIn to find out how we can organize a conversation with one another.
Yeah.
Simon, how can people make contact? Everybody who's watching and listening today, what's the best course of action to get in touch with you?
Well, I'm kind of addicted to LinkedIn, so very easily on LinkedIn, Simon Haigh, Haigh, or through my website, simonhaigh.com, or simon@simonhaigh, Haigh.com. But LinkedIn, I'm there every day.
Always on LinkedIn, ready and waiting
Yeah,
to connect and everything
yeah,
else. So,
absolutely.
Simon, I'd like to say a massive thank you for joining me today. There's some great knowledge, information you've shared with everybody. I wish you all the very best for the future, and I look forward to
Thank you.
catching up with yourself at another date at some point in the diary as well, to carry on the conversation as well. So thank you so much, Simon, for your time today.
No, thank you. And you're doing great work, Lee, honestly. And I love your energy and your authenticity. I mean, I mean that. You're doing really good work. So we'll definitely keep working together.
Brilliant. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you to everybody who's been watching and listening today. Keep your eyes peeled and ears open for the next Revitalise Meets that's coming very soon, where I get the opportunity to meet with business leaders, business entrepreneurs, and key influencers from across the globe in the business community. Be safe, stay healthy, and remember, as always, keep connecting, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.